We are going to be discussing win-win partnerships. Partnerships are supposed to be win-win. If they are not, then they are not good enough. So in 2009, I started a business. I came back from Italy and I saw Churchill and I said, I have this business. I want you to build a website for me. And I had a website that I had built. I don't know how. So when Churchill saw it, he laughed for about 5 minutes. He was laughing at the website because it was a disaster. But he accepted to build a better website for me. Then I saw that, I thought I have a business because I have a website. And I started business in Boya. For a few months, things looked quite okay. Until I was not making money. That's why he's always asking, tell me where the money comes from. I was not making money. And I thought, maybe I need a partner to help. So I struggled for a while, closed down temporarily, traveled, came back, and then got a partner. That's where things became very interesting. So this is a business I worked for from 2009 to 2011, built a brand, then brought in a partner. And between 2011 and 2014, I had the best moments professionally, but the worst moments personally. And in 2014, that partnership ended. So I left that partnership with nothing but stress, tiredness, regrets that I spent 4 years doing nothing really concrete. Why am I telling you this story? And I'll keep telling you this story as we discuss. Because I did not look at the aspect of win-win when I brought in a partner. I did not look at it. I did not ask myself, what is a partnership? What is this supposed to be like? I went into the partnership thinking that I needed someone to come make my business more successful. Wrong. Wrong. This aspect of win-win wasn't there. So what's the win-win? I saw this quote when I was thinking about this presentation and I loved it. Especially the last line, which says, for you to gain, those you deal with should gain as well. Win. So I got in and I was thinking, I need someone with a finance background to come help my business grow. I didn't think that he needed to win. I thought I needed to win. So because I had that mindset, everything else was wrong. This is why today I want to share 10 tips with you. How through my experience I have been able to make my partnerships win-win. Tip number 1. What is win? It is win-win. So what's win? There is a word that I like a lot when I talk to business people. I talk about need. Need. And I saw this quote, great partnerships thrive because the people need each other. For me to win, a need I have should be met, right? So you have a need for a freezer, you have a need for a bigger production capacity, that's your need. And when those needs are met, then you win, right? But what about the other person? Do we think they have needs as well? They do, just that most times we enter into partnerships without thinking of their win. We think only of our win. And that's where it starts going wrong. So before you start off in a partnership, ask yourself, what's win for me? But what win for my potential partner? Because if you don't have a meeting point, that partnership doesn't work. It doesn't. So one person is going to be weighed down, and the other person will try to pull the other up, and everybody is going to suffer. So please, before you get into a partnership, ask yourself, what win for me? And what is win for them? So again, when I started, win for me would have been someone with a finance background, because I was getting into a sector that I thought I could not handle completely. I had to start consultancy for financial institutions. I don't have a finance background. So I saw this person and I said, okay, you have a finance background. So win for me was getting this person to help me penetrate and get more clients. But what was win for him? I still don't know. And it is no surprise that the partnership did not work. What win? Tip number 2. I sat through the presentations and I was asking myself, why did you start this? Why do you think the things you're doing? I don't think I know. And I don't think the judges got that. And I don't think the audience has gotten that. If we cannot sell our vision perfectly, it becomes very difficult to get people with whom we can operate at the same level. Because that's what a partnership is. It's win-win. So to get someone to say, okay, let's do this together, they have to understand your vision. So I remember when I started this partnership in 2011, I don't think we ever talked about my vision. I just know I kept saying, I want to do this, I want to penetrate these organizations. I saw you, I thought, never did I discuss my vision. Maybe because I did not know my vision. Maybe because I had not sat down to say, what vision do I have for this project? So if I could not sell my vision to my partner, how would I expect my partner to buy my vision? If he doesn't buy my vision, then we cannot do business. It's very obvious. So, number 2, you want to, I'm not saying we should have a vision. I am saying we should sell our vision. Because we can have a vision, but if we don't know how to articulate that vision, then people cannot come work with us on a playing field because they do not understand where we are going. So people only see what they are prepared to see. And you, entrepreneurs, have to prepare people to see your vision by articulating that vision. And when I started, I was waiting for someone to say, this is the vision I have for my project. Then you can transport us with you as you journey. And then when I come in as a partner, I know that this is where you're going. This is where I can go with you, and this is where I cannot. If we want people to come with us, work with us together, we have to learn to sell our vision. Of course, it goes without saying that we must first have a vision. If we don't have it, we cannot sell it. Tip number 3. So, with my partner, I started off, no principles. True, I sat in my bedroom and I drafted an agreement. And I came and I said, this is our agreement. Let us work with this. But I did not have any principles to guide that partnership. Just a small congosa. Even when I decided I was leaving that business, I sat down and I drafted a separation agreement. And I went in the morning and I gave him and I said, I don't want to do this anymore. So you can have it. And then my lawyer said, well, you have tried, but you are still in partnership with this person. Because no, that thing that you did is not a separation agreement. And I said, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. Principles. When we don't have principles, it is easy for people to overstep their boundaries. Especially, please, if you are female entrepreneurs. There is no bias. There is no bias. It is just the truth. We are female entrepreneurs, and sometimes this environment becomes a bit challenging for us. And because some people think that we are weaker, they have the tendency to want to treat us differently. And I had this experience where my partner always saw me as that girl. I remember once I walked in on him. We were planning to bring in another partner in an already struggling partnership. We were crazy people, and we thought that we would bring in another partner to help fix things. And I walked in on the 2 men discussing, and my partner then saying, see this small girl when I be married. One give me headache. Then I thought that there were things I did wrong. I did not have principles when we started. That this is what I will take, and this is what we cannot do. So partnerships are like friendships. Spend time talking about our relationships. Spend time eating together, drinking together. Those things are good. But we are supposed to know where we draw the line. Otherwise, people will start taking people for granted. If we cannot have principles, then very soon integrity flies out the window. Very soon there is no transparency. What I would have done would have been to get to someone who is qualified to come out with a good contract for both of us. A contract that will spell out the do's and the don'ts. Please don't take contracts for granted. Don't. If there are lawyers here, please arrange for these our young people to get lawyers to get contracts for them. Don't, even if you're doing business with your family. Because today things might look very good. They're not always going to be like that. Be very principled in a partnership. It's the same thing like any other partnership, whether it is friendship, it is marriage. Principles are very, very important. Let people know what you stand for, what you can accept, what you can tolerate, what you cannot. It's not just being too serious. It is saving yourself a headache. Principle number 4. See what I was saying? No boundaries. So, I thought everything was okay. It was okay for me to do all the work. I'll tell you something about that partnership that's very strange. So when my partner came in and we started looking for clients, I would go out and look for clients all over Cameroon, financial institutions. I would not sleep. I would travel. I was working with my partner in the same university. So this is what I did. And we're going to talk about it. So I told the university administration, I cannot be full-time. Please, I just want a part-time contract. Because my partner was full-time. And I said, no, both of us cannot be full-time. This business will not work. So let him be full-time, and I want a part-time contract. And no boundaries. I went all out. Did everything. Contacted companies. Had sleepless nights. The worst was that even when we had trainings like this, I prepared slides for me and for my partner. And sometimes it was on the day of the training that I would sit down, spend 20 minutes telling him what's in the slides I prepared for him. No boundaries. And you know, with time, he started taking that for granted. And once when I would not do it, he would then ask questions. And it is because of this. I don't know if some people here know the story. That one day I was so frustrated to hear that someone came and said they wanted to partner with us, and he said I work for him. That he employs me. So if there's anybody who can do anything, it's supposed to be him. And this is how a business that I started brought in a partner. I was going around and people are saying that, oh, that lady who is employed by, oh, so many times I even want to discuss, listen, even with students, I'll tell students that you have to do this, and then they say they have to ask you. Because that was the narrative. I did not know how to set clear boundaries. In this partnership, who does what? Who doesn't do what? I left it, an open partnership. And then it was like that. So I did all the work, which I don't regret because I learned. But you see, because there were no clear boundaries, everything started going very bad. So please, set clear boundaries. Again, I would say that if you're young, you want to do business with older people, set clear boundaries. If you're older and you want to get into a partnership with younger people, set clear boundaries. If you're a woman, it's even worse. You want to do business with, set clear boundaries. These are the things that I will do these are the things you will do. We don't mix things up. That way, everything is clear. People do not get to mix things up. Do you see the quote that is here? I love it. Did you see it? Lack of boundaries. So you lose respect when you don't set clear boundaries. And in a partnership, one of the main ingredients is respect. When people don't respect each other, it cannot work. So as you're thinking of partnerships, remember that boundaries are supposed to be very clear. Don't assume. Don't assume. Set very clear boundaries. Number 5, sorry. DJ, are you with us? Please go back. I like this one. I like this one. Listen with your mind, but also with your heart. Please go back to number 5. Yes. Perception. Perception. If I look at you, can I see through the smiles that you're giving me right here and now? When we listen passively, we lose out on a lot of things. When I started my partnership with this person, there are many things I heard, many things I saw, but that I decided to not think about. In a partnership, for me, there are 2 things that count. Every other thing I've mentioned, but then a human connection. That human connection, if I don't have, I don't get into a partnership. Please. That is why I say you listen with your heart as well. If this connection is not created, it becomes very difficult to do business. Because I always believe that in spite of everything we say, business is very spiritual. And I was talking about church a while ago and I was laughing. This has been 14 years. We are still doing business very closely. Because there is that human connection. I listen with my heart, not just with my head. So you will talk to people, you want to get into partnerships. Listen, they have good projects, peaceful. But is there a connection? I'm not talking about love, trust not. But can you trust each other? Can you share a joke? Can you feel down when the other is feeling down? That's the connection I'm talking about. For me, if I listen and I don't get this connection, I don't get into the partnership. I don't. Please, if you want to choose between the heart and the mind, choose the heart. Because lawyers can fix things of the mind. We can fix them. But that connection that you are supposed to feel with the business partner, if it is not there, then something really is off. I say that feelings hardly lie. Feelings hardly lie, especially if you're somebody who is deep, who reflects. When you feel like something is off about this business partner, then something is off. Then something is off. Don't ignore those feelings. I said many times to my family that, I don't know, there's just this thing that I feel like there's something about this person that is not clear. Right? At that time I was thinking about my mind. Oh, he has a master's degree back in finance. Oh, he has that. But that thing did not go away. There was this trust that was missing. And do you know how long it took me to finally realize that effectively something was wrong? 4 years. 4 years of my life. And it's true that I picked up, but not everybody can be this fortunate or this blessed. So please listen to your intuition before you get into a partnership. Today it's easy to just meet people on social media, share your projects, they call you, and pay attention to body language. Pay attention to what people write about themselves on social media. Read. It's not all about money. Because if we are just looking at how much money they can bring, they will bring the money. But they can also take away a part of our lives. We have to be careful. Partnerships are not just business. because we put a lot of our lives into our business. So, number 5, listen with your mind and with your heart. Number 6, there is no way you can get into a partnership if you're not ready to compromise. That word, compromise, is very, very important. You don't want to be rigid. This is where the partnership fell apart. And I'll tell you, you're surprised how something as little as a signage could finally break the partnership. So the new school year was starting, and then there are 2 things actually that happened, but I'll talk about the other one first. And we're thinking that we need a new signage in front of the building. And then I said, okay, I cannot design this. Let's get someone to design us a signage. Simple, something which is legible, something that sells. And my partner said, why? Let us get the regular signage that everybody has. So what am I talking about? Let's put a board, and let's just put the name of the institution, of course our logo, and then maybe our catchphrase or our motto as they use, and then contacts. Maybe a nice picture of students. And he said, no, those things don't matter. Let us write all the Republic of Cameroon, Ministry of Higher Education, let us list all the programs. And I said, this size of this signage cannot carry all that information. It will not sell. And he said, okay, if there are things we can take out, you can take out the logo, and so that we make space. Just imagine that I walked in here and I did not see this. When I leave here, I will forget, right? But there was somebody doing business saying that we can take out the logo, we create space, and we write everything that we do. And I said, my image is part of this business, and we cannot just go out there. People will think I am not serious. This is what breaks that partnership. Because we could not agree on that signing, compromise. Nobody wanted to compromise. And that's how the partnership ended. So if you are going into a partnership and you're not ready to compromise, then don't go into a partnership, because, do we remember what we said from the beginning? It's win for them, win for us. It cannot be win-win when people are not ready to compromise. Early this year, I was going to get into a partnership with somebody in Australia, and our first video call, he said, okay, today is just to know ourselves. I want to ask you one question. And I said, okay. So he said, what is the one thing you must find in a business partner before you carry on with partnership? And without thinking, I said values. I said values. What kind of values? I said, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to write down 5 values, and you write down 5. Let's see if we can meet somewhere. It was like a small joke. But I wrote 5, he wrote 5, and when we took up our sheets, we had about 3 of them exactly the same. Honesty, put integrity. He put honesty, I put integrity. I put compromise, he put compromise. This is how we know that people want to do things together. If you cannot give off something, you cannot get. I don't want to say more than this. The lack of compromise has spoiled a lot of things in Cameroon for the past 5 or so years. Nobody wants to compromise. And we are where we are. If we cannot compromise, then we cannot be partners. Partnership means that you will give up something to gain something. It's the same in marriage, isn't it? Marriage, which is a partnership. You cannot think that my life is going to be the same after marriage the way it is now. Compromise. And if you meet someone who is not ready to compromise, and they tell you, no, this is what I'll give in this is what I'll do, no, nothing else. Think. People should be able to say, okay, production capacity, I have. Now I sell a kilogram of cassava flour at 1,200. If we are partnering, okay, I may lose 50 francs. That's all right. We can do it together. That's it. But when he says, No, things will remain the way they are. Compromise. Number 7.